Hi, Dr. Mike Davidson. I'm very happy that you get to sit with us and talk to us. Tell us a bit about your works in 2019 and how it has been looking for you.
Well, we've had a great year. We've done all sorts of things, lots of creative things, I think, and we've had the opportunity to reach out spiritually to people, and now we have an opportunity at the IFTCC conference to talk about maybe some of the mechanics of counseling and psychotherapy that maybe can be useful in addition to the spiritual provision that pastors and teachers provide.
That's great. And I heard you talking about psychodrama. Can you tell us a bit more about psychodrama, what it is, and how it helps people with unwanted homosexual desires and practices?
So psychodrama was the first group psychotherapy that came about years ago and was used popularly in hospitals and some mental institutions, places where people were troubled in their spirit. It's a group psychotherapy, and what that means is the group works together with the person who is is the focus for that particular session. For me, it's a very enriching way of doing work because it's not just dependent on the dynamic between the counselor and the therapist, but it's also making use of the dynamics within the group. And if you think about it, people who come from an SSA background often talk about wounding that they experience in the community, in society. So maybe bullying at school or difficulties in the home with an older brother, a hostile brother, all sorts of social contexts that wound them. Now, in the psychodrama context, if it's set up properly and it's safe and it's a place where somebody feels confident in being in that context, this is an opportunity to begin to deal with the wounding that came because of society. So in this kind of microcosmic space of a small group, you can begin to deal with the wounding because of the group.
Well, how would people present for this group be related to the person, the struggler? Would they be friends? Would they be family members?
No, there would be anybody, and that's...
They don't have to have...
No, they don't have a familial relationship with the person that you're working with. They can be anybody from society. And you see, that's part of the beauty, because society is not something that we can control. Society is made up of all sorts of people. So in a typical psychodrama context, you'll have all sorts of people. But the thing is, I don't know, the best way to explain it, have you ever walked into the room and immediately you have connections with this one and reservations about that one, and you size up the room and you decide, no, I'm going to stay on this side of the room, and you know, it might not even be conscious, but it's something that we human beings do. It's a kind of radar. And in a psychodrama group, you're kind of bringing that to the fore and then helping the person to relate to that in a way that doesn't shame them, because now they know how to respond to people. Psychodrama is really good for exploring possibilities. You can try things out that you can't try out at home, kind of thing. You can do it in a safe group. You can remember things that you went through that traumatized you. And because you've got a safe group around you, they can stand with you. And within the group, if I'm the person doing the work as a client, there will be people in the group who I will particularly identify with and who I want to stand with me. So all of those dynamics can be really helpful.
That's wonderful. And is there anywhere available where we can see the practice of psychodrama? Or
if you Google psychodrama now, you know, it depends who does this psychodrama, if I can put it that way. But if you look at Moreno's work, if you look at the very, very early footage, you can see some of the early footage. You'll see how it was done originally. Moreno developed this after watching children play. He saw children took on roles, and they would take on a role and then they kind of de-role and take another role, and it's just remarkable how children interrelate through role play, and life is about role play. Now, Moreno's theology is not something that I would be, connected with in any way. It's like any other methodology. You take what is significant and useful for your practice, and you leave what isn't.
That's wonderful, and it's very helpful. Thank you for introducing us today to psychodrama. Thank you.
Thank you.